what are some of the red flags that you see in people?
I feel like my previous relationships were character development. You know how you give people so much benefit of the doubt? I was one of those people, guys, no, we're so rough on men. Like, you know, give people benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's busy. Maybe that's why he's not texting you, or that's why he's turning you up every now. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Get in line. So, number one is...
Let's talk about life.
The highs, the lows, and the transitions. This is Real Life Diaries, so let's dive in. You're not going to use the word speech. Today's topic is cruel enough. We're not going to use words such as speech.
Welcome back to Real Life Diaries. This is Maria and Val. I'm reintroducing us.
Because we've not introduced each other in a long time.
Yes, we haven't introduced each other in a long time. If
so
you're
watching, Val.
If you're watching this now, please subscribe and leave a like because you're definitely going to like this one. Thank you. So,
the things we do for you.
Val, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Someone last week asked me why we don't talk about dating and relationships. So,
but
we bring you this episode. Apparently, we just hint on it, like
and run.
We touch and go. So, we are going to talk about the roller coaster of dating in 2025. Or just trying to find the one.
What a content.
So we're going to talk about the roller coaster of emotions, trying to find the one and all of that. But remember, in one of our previous episodes, we did talk about like how we should first search out for you before you find the one.
Yeah.
Apparently, that was just a hint. So today, someone requested we do talk about all of that. So,
we'd rather talk about anything else.
Should I ask your current relationship status? Should we start from there?
I mean, we have already reached here. We've sat down. We've decided this is the topic.
Yeah.
Your girl is single as a pea.
Are you serious?
In a basket, alone like this. Dead ass.
Okay. So, what are some of the red flags that you see in people, for example?
This one, I don't know, we don't have enough time today alone. But I want to talk about the major ones because, okay, let me just talk about the ones that have occurred just based off of what I have learned on previous. I feel like my previous relationships were character development, nothing else.
Character development.
Like I was there to be educated on what's what and what's not. So the things that I used not to, you know how you give people so much benefit of the doubt? I was one of those people, guys, no, we're so rough on men. Like, you know, give people benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's busy. Maybe that's why he's not texting you, or that's why he's turning you up every now. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Get in line. So, number one is inconsistency. Because first of all, okay, let's just talk about it. In the 5 men you're going to talk to, 3 are going to be married. Can we talk about why the married men are not staying married? Guys,
that's
already
a problem.
Hustle.
Hearing that is definitely a problem.
We are looking for husbands this side, but also the ones that we removed from they brought themselves back. Previously, there was shame. There was shame around it, like, oh, like, you know, like the situation would be such that a man has been dating this person and then they later realize that they're married and it's a fiasco. How could he not tell me? These days,
they introduce themselves as, I am actually
comes like
married.
this when it's shining.
Yeah.
New. It's like, I'm married, but also what's up? Like, tugenda bamaza masatika pink. Married men
Married
have got to
women
get a uniform.
should get their own chitenji attire.
Put it everywhere on their clothes.
No,
put
but
for
I
us
think
so
it
we
also
can
comes
tell.
from that. The shamelessness, I think, comes from the fact that many people are getting married prematurely. Like, it's a trend. Like, you know how when a trend starts, you jump on that trend. I feel like over time, there's been a trend of get married, and people are getting married prematurely. Like,
Mukola be mwagala.
yes, like as in they're not really getting married for that long life commitment and companionship, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like I ticked a box. Like, you know, being in your 20s, you're like, then I will get someone and then I'll get married. So it's like, okay, then we got married. Then they continue with their normal life.
Yeah.
I feel like most married people nowadays, like they're married, but the sacrifice and the work that comes with being married is not one they're willing to put in. They are willing to put in the sacrifice of organizing the wedding, but the tenacity that you need to actually keep the marriage, the moment it boils up, you're like,
they would
I'm
rather
out.
come and stress us out again.
Yes,
back on
you'd
the
rather
street.
just do like, and I also feel like we live in an environment that has so many options. Today we have so many options. Well, you may be saying that for you, maybe you feel like embarrassed dating a married man, but there are girls out there who are specifically looking for married men.
Okay.
You get?
Yeah.
So it's both sides. Like, there's no shame anywhere. Like, whenever it boils in your home, there is an option. Can go on Tinder and maybe do the online dating.
Yeah.
You can date online. They won't catch you.
Yeah.
Your marriage still stays intact. And then, or you can just get someone on the side. It's not like they're trying to report you to your wife. No, they're okay. In fact, when it clocks 7, can be like, I'm just supposed to go home to your wife. Like,
Yeah,
it
I will
has
remind
been,
you.
yes, it has been so normalized. It has been so normalized that I think even the context of marriage has like gone out of hand.
Guys, let's normalize married men on the street. Guys,
Yeah.
it's getting out of hand. It's seriously getting out of hand. This is why, because of the fact that they are not committed in their marriages. Like now, me as a single person, what is going to motivate me to want to get married? Because all y'all's husbands are here. So what is the point of me
But I
getting
don't
one?
think you say
Not-
yawo. You
I'm
get
so
it?
sorry.
I don't think this. I don't think saying yawo is.
Not all men. Not all men. But the I don't know. This other.
Yeah, I get you.
Anyway, it's very annoying because it's like you're trying to get out of something, and then now the thing that you've mentioned about the effort that it takes to be in a relationship is another one. The moment you get in there, flies and butterflies in the beginning, oh my god, then they're going to ghost you.
Ghosting.
Okay, I mean, I've ghosted before, but this is
Ghosted
I'm
and
not-
blocked. Like, it's not enough that you've ghosted. You must even block. Anyway, yeah.
It's so easy for you to just disappear and be like, peace. People don't want to talk about anything anymore. People don't want to put in the effort, because to be in a relationship, later on I'm married, but even when you're just working your way towards that, it's going to take so much effort that I don't think people right now are willing to invest.
No, you see, Val, I feel like we're on a trend of showing that the one who doesn't care the more is the winner.
Like, when they tell us those things, even about men, they will tell you, oh, if he doesn't, like, you have to pretend like you don't care, then the man will come and chase you.
Yes. Apparently, we're
Who
in
is
a
making
competition.
these
Like,
rules?
you're looking for love.
Yeah.
But the way to find the love is to
pretend
show
you
that
don't
you
want.
don't love. What is that? Literally,
that going
God
to
sent
work?
his son to die for us. Which other way can you show you love someone? Like, he
You
was
can't
so
pretend.
loud
The man
about
said,
it.
let me show you how we are going to
He
get
was
this
so
done.
loud about it, also as created in his image. I love them, but I'm going to first show them
Let me first
attitude.
pretend.
Why?
And now, we have another category of them who are still hurt from previous relationships. Remember how last episode we talked about how people are not healing? People are just walking through life carrying all their burdens.
Yeah.
We are moving traumas from one relationship to another, to another, to another. I know people who cannot be single for so long. Like every time there's a gap, grab a man. Every time grab a woman. Now, because there's a TikToker that I was following the other day, she was like, we're going to normalize slapping stupidity out of people. Because if you send him to me when you didn't slap him, now I have to
slap
display him for all three of us, and my slap is going to be really hot because people are coming to us when they're not healed. So the ones who are married and settled, the emotionally, the stable. One of the qualities that I'm looking for in someone, they have to be a secure person, they have to be stable, whatever. You think those ones, when the Marias of this world get them, they're releasing them. Of course, they're already married. Now we have others here on the street who are like typically good people, but their ex hurt them. They have not yet healed from. What am I supposed to do with this information? Even us, they have hurt us.
Yeah.
But I feel like all of us as a society are not taking the time. It's that thing of get under man to get over a man.
Yeah.
Now the bodies are stacking up. All the traumas are starting to stack up. Now you want to bring all that to Lunkuse's doorstep. After I've taken 2 years, 2 years to get myself together.
Anyway, you see, Val, I feel like people are not healing also because, how can I say it? Like, there is fear. Yes, there is fear that maybe if I talk about this and give myself time to move on, it's like, okay, this is it. People measure their self-worth based on who wants them or how much they are wanted. And that's where the whole competition of if I don't care and they still want me, it means I'm the baddest and I'm a hot cake. I feel like self-worth is actually, you are the independent variable. Like, you are what determines that self-worth. It does not come from someone wanting you or you being picked as the best. It really comes from within you. Like that thing of you, the respect you give yourself, it's equivalent, or how you see yourself is how other people will see you.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no one that is going to heal you. Even if you go to the next relationship and the person is good, they're everything that you're looking for in a partner.
Just doesn't work
they
like
are
that.
not going to heal you. They're not going to be able to love you enough to heal you. I feel like you love yourself enough to heal yourself, that even if anything happens, like you're grounded so much in your, like, you know who you are, nothing else from the outside can possibly change that. When you have understood that, then I feel like that is when someone is ready to go into another relationship. Like you said, character development, yes. And it's a long-term process, but I believe there comes a point in one's life where they know exactly who they are and nothing else. Like, whether someone comes and tells you, oh my God, you're so insecure, you do know yourself. Know yourself. You're like, no, that's just not what I want. I just don't want to see my man around other women talking, not because I'm insecure. I just don't like it.
Yeah, I know what my triggers are.
So I feel like we need to give ourselves time to get to that point before even trying to entangle with someone else.
Yeah, and I feel like half of us are doing it and the other half are not. Then also us, we're going to be met by people who are not. Then for you will heal, then the other who will come to you will not be healed.
But at least they'll find you healed and you're like, go.
Yeah, the thing
get out.
Yeah, you'll be knowing and you're like, ABC and this is not going to work for me. So it's easier for you actually to sort them out if you have focused on yourself enough to be like, listen, I can see, you can see the traits because you've gone through them. And you're like, you're at this stage where you clearly shouldn't be talking to a woman. And men, unfortunately, are not wired
and
like
the thing
us.
is, you can tell. You can tell when you have moved a certain level in your personal development journey. You can tell when someone approaches you with, they can be all of it. They are happy, they are good-hearted, kind, and all of that. Yeah. But they just have that thing maybe from a past relationship. They maybe are insecure to some extent, or they just don't want you to be a certain way, like they might even describe you as too much sometimes. But I feel like it always comes from somewhere, and it takes a healed person to notice it, or even you're fellow unhealed and you guys just drama bond,
which is very guys making it worse. And then the other thing that we are also facing is we are dating in a changing world. I feel like our parents, or the generation before, maybe the generation before us, but the generation before that, the women did not have many options. Like, it was very much, this is the man who has, the moment they look your direction, you're happy to be looked at, you're ready to get married. Right now, with women emancipation, women are taking up leadership roles, the girls are doing their thing, we are leading, I don't know if we know, there's like a lack of balance that is happening, that the women don't know how to, like, when is it that I'm supposed to step back and allow myself to be led by this man. The man also doesn't know what to do with all this leadership energy that is happening. So we're having like a mishap there.
Last time I was talking, actually still last week, I was talking to someone and they were like, the women, I was telling them I was talking to some women and I was teaching them how to save and all, and they were like, did you talk to the men? too.
Yeah.
Then I was like, no, the men came, they had lunch and they left. They didn't want to be part of the conversation.
Yeah.
They were like, so if these men actually go back home, do you know that these men, like if these women go back home, these men are very influential in their lives, right? So for me, it brought me to the realization that we live in a world, like, okay, we have so many ideas, but some of them are unrealistic if we are leaving the men out.
We are leaving them behind
like
too much.
Yes, like too much.
We are leaving them
that
so behind.
Then I told them, like, they were like, I feel like women evolved, but the men did not change.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, why didn't the men change? They were supposed to change. Like, it's like, well, like the AI comes and you're at work and you're like, me, I'm going to keep on sitting on my desk and that is what I'm going to do. You're going to get erased out of the workplace. You get, like, you have to evolve. If the woman has stepped 2 steps up, what is so hard with you stepping also 2 steps up? I feel like it's both of us supposed to do the work. You cannot say, me, I'm a man, I will not do the work. I really feel like we both need to put in the work, because then you find an overly studied or an overly like trained woman and nothing she says will make sense to this man, and the only weapon he will have is ego. And they will pull it out anytime, any day, and there is nothing that can compete with that. Like you reason and you bring facts and all, and you'll be like, Nzengani.
The thing is, where we are coming from, the reason why we had to fight in the first place, men had it easy at the time. So it made sense that right now all the world's focus had to be on the women. But now we've reached a point where you're like, now women, you're where we want you to be. But where did the men? Now we are looking around and you're like, where
I feel
are
like
the men?
we left. It's one thing that they did not really see, because now
we
you've
have
trained
to come
your
back.
girl child.
We have to start again and do like boy child. We have to now come up. You've
trained your girl child. You've taught her how to behave in public. Like she's so self-aware, and then you find a man that barely walks with his hair combed. And you're like, and that, like, that's just it. Like, I feel like they need someone to hold them. Like, also the way that they have held women, the way that they have handheld women through that journey, men deserve that too.
That we now need to get back to them. Now you understand why it is a roller coaster. Do you know, by understanding what that is doing to society, how much it cuts the because they tell you, no, Valeria, if you wanted to get married, you'll be married by now. Would I? Would I now? Because the men that have actually taken time to understand and evolve with the world, because those are now like the independent, self-aware men who are like, okay, the world is moving, so do I have to move? My values have to like be slightly. First of all, me personally, let me speak for myself on this one. I do not have any desire to lead in a home. I've gotten a man.
Do you know how
then I go back home and then I become the man. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Independent Valeria has to stay at work. In this podcast, maybe every once in a while I'll lead when I reach home. But first of all, one of my red flags too is if I'm speaking to you and my brain cannot shut up, like literally I'm here with you, but I'm thinking, I'm so self-aware, I'm thinking about so many things. I'm like, why isn't he doing this? Has the waiter come? Is my bag safe? Why am
you need to feel at peace around someone.
When you arrive, I don't know how to change a bulb. I don't know how to call the waiter. I don't know where the receipts are. I cannot be functioning. Why am I functioning? Because this hyper-independence that is threatening them, it actually is something that we had to develop because of the world that we were starting. We had to like stand up and do it. But we have no desire to take it home.
Please come and take your role.
We do not have any desire to take it home. Like, I don't even just seeing from our parents, like my mom also, how when she's like, when like there are people around, of course, she's like very independent. Then when she comes back home, she's like, John, do you know what happened to me today? I don't know. I see that's how it
it's supposed to be.
So for them, they see us like how we are at work, because he's going to meet me where at the gym. Do you know the kilograms I carry at the gym?
Do you know, Val?
At work, I'm also like very loud. So of course, that's the version of me he thinks he's going to take home, but you've not even talked to me yet to understand that I am a baby girl at heart.
Yes, I believe that there is something a man can do to put a woman in that position. It doesn't even take a lot of energy. I've seen it work on me. It's not small like this. Then I'm like, me? I can have a whole riot in my head, but where am I? Where am I? Shrinked. You can't even see me. I feel like submission is so easy for women. A man just has to understand the point.
Yeah.
Like, if for me it may not be like, let's say, taking me on shopping or maybe buying me stuff.
Yeah.
It may be you just doing stuff around the house. Like, you just come in the house, you're fixing lights, you're fixing what, and then that simply just puts someone into full submission mode. For someone else, it may be just you coming home and giving them a bundle of money. You get? So I feel like men also need to, like, and I don't want to be like I'm the expert in men, but I
But
feel
you're
like
speaking from what you're seeing. Yeah.
humanly, I feel like understanding, it's not even just a man-woman relationship, even your friend. Like, if I see this is what makes Valeria happy, it's not like I have to take her for a trip, but maybe I have to buy her something really shiny and sparkly.
Yeah.
And then she'll be like, oh my God, I'm
The
so
moment
happy
you're-
about this. You get? Like, it's really just
Yeah,
a human
their
thing.
love language.
Yeah,
it can
you
be
know
acts
their
of
love
service. You
language.
take my car for service.
But for you, you're loud on this
Let me
episode.
tell you something. If they take my car for service, they bring me back when it has fuel. And I don't have to worry about squinky noises.
Yeah.
He's getting it. That's it. I'm out.
Yeah.
Kujababu ntubutonongo. But anyway, for me personally, I don't have any. This hyper immediate that is scaring them, it needs to not scare them. At least have the conversation first. But also, as women, we also need to know where to draw the line.
Yes.
Some of you, you're taking all your MDness home. I tell you, the new manager at work, you've taken it back home, you're leading the house.
Yeah.
At what point? That's why I think also them, they shrunk, because you can't beat them. They beat us, we shout. They cannot shout at us, which you shouldn't, but you know. So they don't have any other way, like, because it's supposed to be natural for us to do it. We let them lead us. The moment you refuse to let them lead us, what are they going to do about it? They won't just fold their arms. Because what will you do?
Yeah.
If you beat us, we shall take you to police. I tell now these days they listen to us. So now they become disarmed. So as women, we're the ones supposed to actually allow. Why would you want to lead? It is so hectic.
But let's talk about how women today have tapped into that peace. You know, that peace that men had, where you go home, you take your juice, you water your plants, probably touch your cat on the ears.
Yeah, then you
go
put your
to
legs
bed,
up and watch some Netflix.
and then you sleep off. You don't have to cook. I feel like that kind of
That
peace
is why
has
some of us
made
are still
very many
single.
people say, Valeria. I feel like it has kept people so single
I'm
that
telling
you
you.
know how you've been eating bread for so long, then they give you a cake. You're like, what? No
What
one
a
should come
tasty-
in here and ever take this cake away from me.
Yeah, because who has the desire to go and cook?
Yes, because now it changes the question. It's now the women like, what are you bringing on the table?
Yeah, because seriously, what
What
are
are
you
you
bringing
bringing?
on the table? I know what I'm bringing on the table, and I know that I'm thriving without you right now. So except for the, the thing that God refuses us to do before getting married, what else are you bringing to the table? Because now we are the ones asking them that, because it cannot just be your body that you brought anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
No, but I think companionship, the actual issue. No, listen, the actual reason that God designed, I believe marriage is designed by God. I think the reason that God designed marriage is way more than even companionship. Personally, I have learned through being married that it's more of an inner work individually in each person. For a marriage to thrive, I have come to realize from my own experience that it breaks you a little. It's not about the peace you get or the joy you derive from it. Though that's how we look at it. You're like, I'm going to be happy for the rest of my life with the love of my life. But I feel like that's where most people, like when you enter with that kind of perspective, that's where most people get thrown, and then you're dating on the side, you're doing this on the side, because the truth is, I feel like marriage is meant to change you from the inside. You become, like, for me, I think it teaches you some things, like you become less selfish. You imagine having to share your space without any complaint, and you're okay with it, like to that level that someone breathing around you is not even a problem. I feel like it's more to redesign you to be in the likeness of God. Like, you're not with this person because maybe they provide for you or because they're submissive to you, just like God loves us with nothing. Like, it's nothing is going to benefit from you, nothing really. You just have to be there. So I feel like that's the actual reason. But usually when we are now getting to the actual reason of why actually you're supposed to be married, which is actually a ministry to God, that's where we're like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can't do this. This is not my ministry.
And also,
Where is that girl I used to know in high school? Like, that is the minute you get off. But I feel like we need to be taught while we are getting married that you're getting into this thing because maybe it has been ordained by God to make you a better person. When the time for you to be a better person comes, and maybe your husband doesn't have money and he calls on to you to, support, don't be like, yes, when you touch my money, you've touched everything. Yeah. I just feel like it's not okay by the world for maybe like if it's seen that way. But if you're to understand the values of God, like how God wants us to be, it's actually something you should be doing with a very big smile. But that's just what I know.
He has given us some independence. And now, the one thing that would probably put me on pressure is that I know that I do want children and I know that I want to be a mom. So the fact that we have a time limit to us as women with the whole, body, eggs and whatever. Yeah. Maybe these days I want to have
freeze your eggs.
We have options. I can freeze them. The fibiolas are popping out twins. I'm just like, is it urgent? Did you guys lie to us about this thing being there? Even it's making me take a little bit of a backseat because I'm like, you know what? I don't even have to rush anywhere for anything. Also, I can. We have so many. You can actually conceive without a man.
Yes, you can.
But I wouldn't want to do that. The only reason I would want to bring a child in this world is obviously in a family setting with a man. It's not just to give birth. It will be fully dependent on the father of the child, 100%. But like, the fact that there are options and I can wait.
You see,
part of my problem personally.
I do support the whole wait. I feel like it's never about when you get married. It's really never about the timing. You will get married at 50.
Shouldn't be
about the timing.
If you want kids, it does have to depend.
You've just said you have options.
A few, yeah.
Yes, you do have options. So I feel like it's not about the when. Right now, it should be more about the why. Like, why are you really getting married? Because that why really does even construct the reason you will leave or stay. That is like the why will define when you decide to leave. Maybe you're not fulfilling the why, and when you decide to stay, the why you stay.
Should listen to you, by the way.
You should. We should have a one-on-one off camera. Yes,
I should listen to my married friends. I have you guys, but I'm pretending you're not existing, and I'm this side in the hustle.
So, what other red flag? You said inconsistency.
Oh, I talked about inconsistency. Obviously, the rest of the things...
give me a green. Give me a green flag.
I give you a green flag. Anyway, let me see. I don't want to say the big ones because people are going to say
a big one.
People have already told me I have high standards. People have already told me. I think I also their relationship with God has to be on par. Because I'm not going to come and submit to you when you do not have a higher power that you submit to. Because then you have no guidance in life.
By relationship with God and a higher power to submit to, the higher power could be the job.
No, that's why I'm talking about God. That's exactly what my problem is.
Yes.
It needs to be God that is the higher power. Because otherwise you're going to get one that I cannot fully... Understand. Yeah, I cannot let you lead me if for you what is driving you is, I don't know, money... Or, of course, you need to have money. I'm so sorry. I used to be shy about that. About what? Me, I'm not like a gold digger.
No, but...
You have to be financially stable.
Financially stable.
I can't worry about you. And where you're going to sleep today.
Yeah.
I don't know. There has to be financial stability. But that's not like a green flag as such. It's just one of the things on the list that I'm just like...
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not talk about lists.
So,
but the God-fearing part is for sure. Like, I need them because, when a man has that kind of base, and I feel like God is the best that I want for my man because I believe in the teachings that are in the church and the humility it teaches and the kindness that it teaches. There are things that you're going to not be able to do. There are things that you're going to do that are going to, like, I can also go back to him and be like, here is my husband.
There are people who are in church, but they are not necessarily spiritual people.
I did not even say church. Did you hear me say church? Some people, I said God.
You will find them in church and they do believe that there is God.
Yeah.
But based off of their day-to-day lives.
Yeah.
Character.
That's what I'm saying.
You can clearly see that
there's no God happening.
There's no grounding. Yeah. But they will not miss mass They will go for all church services.
That's true.
They will be there, but
don't go to church to find a husband.
Yes, I just don't think like if you're trying to find a husband, you can't find a husband in church. But it shouldn't be necessarily that every man you see in church is grounded in God. Speak to them. You will know.
I did not even say church, because I also have a thing about us being very strict with faith.
Yeah.
Because I'm personally Catholic, I can promise you right now, my bounds are not on the Catholics. Like I cannot say my husband must be a Catholic. You could
marry a Muslim. Can you marry? You've just said my bounds are not on Catholics. Tell us right now. I have a very suitable Muslim man. Are you okay? He is emotionally available.
It's fine.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Very consistent too. He prays 5 times a day.
That's really nice. I love it for him. I love it for him. No, I think in the Christianity part of faith, I do not have bounds around. But like me as a Hajat, can you see it?
No.
I don't think our values would. No. Actually, no. No.
You wouldn't.
I'm Muslim, no. I wouldn't be able to handle. But like Christianity in general, that's why I said I don't need to necessarily have you go to church every day, because I know I believe in God, but Sunday you'll not necessarily find me at the center and front. But my relationship with him is alive and well.
Yeah.
But like you can tell someone the way they act, the things that they believe in, their values. Your values are based in what? Again, they could be, it's the same thing. The next one is family orientation. Like what is their family background? What is their relationship with their parents and their family? Because that also determines how they are going to like want to lead their family. Of course, there are people who have come from very tough backgrounds that end up being like mine has to be the good one. Like I have to change it from here on out. You can see that mentality in someone. But then again, the others who are just like, they just don't even know how to be in a family because they don't have that grounding. They're about that background about them. Someone had told me that thing before, like when I was telling them about my family and my dad is this, my dad is that. It's like, we're already ready for marriage. You would make a good wife. I'm like, we determined that. And then when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, because like you would know. But then it's not like the sole determinant, but their family background. You can tell if the dad used to beat the mom. You have to know, first of all, if you have to understand when you're hearing this story, is it something he says, yeah, sometimes women need discipline. Is that his reaction to it? Or is it like, I can never lay hand. I can see how my mom suffered. I would never.
Do you think that it is possible to actually get to know someone without directly being in a relationship with them?
No. This is why if I'm trying to date them, I know so many friends. Like you have male friends. Yeah. There's a reason you're not married to them. I have many male friends, but the version of them that I know and the version of them that their girlfriends know, two different people. Two different people. With me, it's life is good. Feel free, have fun with their woman.
But do you think that to actually sustain a relationship, you have to be friends with these people? Right?
Yes. Friendship, I don't think it used not to be a thing that I actually also prioritize. But then again, I've dated some very serious people, and I'm like, when do we laugh? When do we laugh all the time? Bonds, money, what? When are we getting home? Schedule. I'm like, calm it down, because this is what I do from morning to evening. I do not want to be. I think there has to be a very huge level of friendship, because how are you going to resolve conflicts?
Yeah,
like how are you going to talk about the bad things and the good things? I don't know. There has to be friendship for sure. For me anyway.
So, I've asked you this question.
Oh God.
Because you have accused me severally.
You put
severally, yes. You have accused me severally, and I didn't date. Right? And I know nothing about dating. And me, I don't know. Let me tell you.
The truth of the matter, we both know.
No, let me tell you today. I brought it in a way. I listened to you answering it. Good. You've reached exactly where I wanted you to be. So this is the thing.
Yeah.
In my understanding, I don't think you need to actively label someone my boyfriend for you to know the triggers or the red flags and the green flags in them. I think having a genuine relationship with someone, and that is something I did practice. Like I would know that maybe someone has interest in me, but it was never about the interest. We put that aside, and I put that aside, and I experienced these people as my friends. So I would, you can keep them as a friend, but not necessarily as a partner. And if they were to change anything as a partner, they would be pretending. So because I believe that most people are very, like, I'm your friend, cool. You come, you sit on my bed, you leave it unlaid. I'm writing, I'm not.
I'm not. Yes. It sounds like this happened at campus and it shows.
No, but like, I feel like for me as a Christian, then when I was maybe trying to understand, when I knew I wanted to get married, I didn't want to again put myself out there that we shall, but we would go out, we can go out, nothing like necessarily, you're not my boyfriend, I'm not your girlfriend, but I get to know you on a friendship level. And I believe that was a very genuine kind. So do I have exes? No. Do I have friends who I got to really understand and up to date, that bond that we built, that I understood them to that level? It does keep on, like, it does keep on adding to our friendship in one way or another. But could I keep them as partners? Definitely not.
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah, there's so many.
That's it.
There's so many, but then there are others. I think that's how you start out. Anyway, you genuinely get to know someone, and then, spark starts flying. You cannot date everyone. I know very many people who are very good men, like they are genuinely good men, and I will happily hand him over to the next one and be like, "Oh, you Tereka, keep it," because there's no relationship. I don't know, from friendship, what is the higher level? This one that we're talking about for marriage.
Then you did.
There's no spark. There's no attraction to them.
That of course, for some there is no attraction.
Some of them,
and those that, by the way, I did build like an actual understanding with were those who had a little bit of, like, they could easily be attraction. Yeah.
Could easily be.
If I had allowed the spark to spark, it would be there.
But the sparks be sparking. You have a lot of self-control.
Yes, they be sparking, but you sit in your chair and you be like, Holy Spirit, guide. There shall not be any spark.
I need to call him before I enter the room. Sometimes when I enter the room, the sparks
But one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit is actually self-control. So.
It is actually. He's the one I'm going to start calling upon directly.
Yes.
Like, Holy Spirit, it's you who I'm calling today. Yeah. But you can get to know them. But I didn't say you can't. Even now in elimination.
In summary, I really did get to know people, Valeria. I didn't just...
Ongi, this is the truth of the matter. You know why? You are God's favorite in this department of life. The man gave you your man. You did not. Do you know what it means? Do you know, first of all, many of the things I know I don't want is because I have dated someone who has them and I'm like, never. But before entering that relationship, I could have probably actually gotten married to that person.
Yeah.
Because everything then, according to me, was okay until when you get to know them. And then these little things, the inconsistencies that were happening before, the little blue lies that were happening, or the unkindness to like waiters. But he's mean to other people. But for me, he's really nice to me.
That's not okay.
The day that he comes, it's your turn. It will get to your turn. And that is exactly how he's going to treat you. He will not know anyhow. When he feels badly about someone, that is what he's going to be. Yeah, but like before I entered that relationship at 23, which is the age at which you got married, I did not have any, like this. Those are things I would say and I'd be like, but for me, he's nice to me. But you understand, bad boys, by the way, me, those ones very far away from me. So God gave you yours, gave him to you on that doorstep.
Stop talking loudly.
Don't start. There was no character development that you got from the street. They loved you from zero. Then they went and married you.
The character development was in church with God.
See, me too, I'm there.
Developed my character.
Me too, I'm there. And I'm getting double. I'm getting that for the Holy Spirit in church. And then I'm going ahead to battle with the men on the street. Anyway.
Yeah.
I ignored them, but then now we are kawa. Fitness
is
like okwelabirira ng'omuntu.
Yes.
What is going on?
Because we're wearing different socks.
You see, the thing is, if I'm dating you too.
Don't ask me why I'm always looking at people's feet. One is purple, one is so white. Do you remove them from people's hangers as you're walking?
They could be doing
Yes, because why are they different?
You need to leave people's feet alone.
Okay.
And you are a little bit of a taller person for you to look at feet. Me, the mumpy, I'm the one supposed to be seeing them.
Anyway,
but anyway, you need to be able to take care of your body somehow.
Are we saying taking? I just want to understand. Taking care, like I can come with my big stomach, but when I eat well,
Tell
us today.
No, but like I mean, like, because I really, really, really want fitness to be part of the rest of my life, and it's going to be, because when I found it, I found like a little bit of a lover in there. Like, I feel like I want it to be forever part of me,
but
and I need my partner to also be active.
I feel like that fitness thing, for me, it goes even beyond.
I'm not talking about physical, like come to the gym.
Yes,
it's not about the gym at all.
It goes beyond like someone looking good. I feel like what it brings out of someone is even a much more greater gift than the way they will
You
look.
will not understand.
A man who is well put to, like his body is fit, is not going to see his girl standing with men who are fit and feel like,
intimidation.
She's not my class.
Therefore,
or even you just passing hand is like, but do I deserve this girl? Like, it gives you that sense of security, because also feeling good does make you, like, looking good makes you feel good. So it's more than even them just having that. Even valuing that discipline.
You when you put in all that work, someone will sit and be like, but bro, she puts in the work. Like, you will understand, you will appreciate.
And I don't undermine that level of discipline that someone has to have to actually end up looking a certain way. It doesn't, just doesn't happen from the
You have to care. You have to care, because if you don't, then now you're going to lead me how.
Bring that level of discipline into our relationship.
Do you understand?
Oh God.
Let me tell you something. It's not how it works, because gym men.
That discipline, they live it in the gym.
My very good friends. You see that thing of you people coming to the gym to find partners. You better come for your body, me, I'm telling you. Please. Because, sometimes they forget that you're there, because we are there all the time together. And the stories you hear these men talking about, the way they are describing, I'm like, what level of disrespect is happening here? Anyway, for me personally, I do not advise, but do as I say. You understand? Do as I say. But anyway, just be careful, because also 90% of them are married. So there's that.
Like this whole thing, that the roller coaster of emotions during dating makes me think that what if we just had arranged marriages? Like, they just bring for you, because you see, then first, listen, in an arranged marriage, then I understand like the logic they were using. They get you someone, same religion. Your families are close, so meaning you guys have been possibly brought up the same way. So you cut out that whole thing of upbringing, cut out the religion, and then the biggest issue was, but I don't love this person, I don't have a connection with this person. But we have the energy to do that with over 10 people. Why can't you just do it with this one person? To some reason, I feel like, oh my God, Val, would you go for an arranged marriage?
You know what? I feel like I would. Right now is not a good time for me to answer this question.
You're going to say yes.
Mkoye. Street in Zikoye. So much so, I am so off the street. I have to force myself back. Literally, I had a conversation with one of my friends last time. Let me not mention his name, because he's married or whatever, and he's recently married or whatever. Anyway, he was telling me, because the time I met him, he used to work so hard. Like, I would be like, my G, you're here from what time? You're sending emails at 10 p.m. What is the issue? Get a life. He was avoiding this whole dating scene. He was also tired.
Are you for real?
And then he told me, because at the time I would leave him in office, I'm like, hurry up, wrap it up. It's a Friday. Valeria has gone. I had a life in me back then. Now.
Back then?
You girl, yeah.
Is it so?
Then I just dived myself. I became the him. So he's telling me now, because now he was the one leaving work. And he was like, Val, what's up? How much longer are we here? And I was like, I've become you. Back then, right now, I'm so off the street. I would rather do anything else, like do an exam. I'd rather do a paper. But now, you know what I'm doing?
I'd rather do a paper.
You got it's so much easier. It's so much easier than to sit on a date. Do you know, first of all, opening yourself up enough to sit down on this date with someone. For me to then come and hear,
Okay, first come back. What are the things during a date that put you off and you're like, this must end now? Of course, except different colored socks. what are, what
There
are
are
those
some
things?
normal things. We're going to, okay.
And by the way, which people have normalized?
Okay, which people have normalized. For starters, I don't know why. Okay, this whole coming to a date to tell me, you know what? I'm so emotionally unavailable right now, but I like you.
So emotional. So why are you here?
Why are you here? What are we doing here today? Valeria, I want to see you. I want to see you so much. You're not replying to my messages. I'm begging you. I'm down.
Then
I'm down. Let me pick you up. I'm like, fine. Friday at 5. Pick me up at work. Let's go see what's up. I'm emotionally unavailable. I'm from such a very difficult...
I'm emotionally but by the time someone has the guts to actually say, I'm emotionally unavailable, what's your problem? That is actually that's a very mature
So what do you want me to do? You want me, because what you're telling me right now is I want to sleep with you, but I do not want to put in the work.
Yeah.
Get off my desk.
That's definitely what it means.
You think that I'm going to put myself out there to go on dates and hear that garbage over and over again?
Would you stay on a date
you want to?
Someone said you're doing 50-50?
No. What are we doing here?
Why?
This is not cool, afraid. I am not your friend.
But those guys are strict. They will write your bill.
50-50.
Yeah.
Guys.
Because nowadays people have normalized it.
50-50,
like actually,
I can pay. Because my issue is not that I can't afford. I can afford, but you're never going to see me again. Because this is not how my marriage is going to work.
Or 50-50.
50-50. I mean, no, though. Some things now, when let's be serious.
Food of 50K, you bring 25, I bring 25.
Food. And I've had someone say that if you're the one who has invited the man out, you should pay.
I've also had it. Like it's really a normal thing. I think.
For me, I'm not paying.
Do you know what I think? Wow. No, I think like it's okay for someone to be like, okay, 50-50. But just advise. The man should pay. If he knows what he wants, he should pay. Because when you put a woman in that position, I feel like it's not good for the man. So if he wants what's best for him, I think he should pay.
How are you going to lead me? I'm supposed to submit to what?
It's really just for his good. He should just pay, because you don't make a woman pay. Women, I think they weren't made to pay. Any kind of paying they pay. They become something else. They become something else. All of a sudden, she's disobedient. She didn't want to hear it. She's so uncomfortable. What weight have you made? I think it's so unnatural to women that if it happens, really, if you want peace, just pay. Just pay and move on for your own well-being.
Yeah. I wanted to hit on that intentionality that I was talking about. The fact that, okay, genuinely, aside from the fact that I have genuinely become busier because, the world has opened up and guess who is taking front lead and becoming woman emancipated or whatever. Now I feel like I do desire to have a partner, right? Of course, not that if it doesn't happen for me, I will not thrive. I'm very happy to be a rich auntie to my nephews, who are the most adorable babies I've ever seen on earth. Yeah. I'm very happy to be, but like, I'm just saying, I want to be more intentional about it, because as of right now, my default, I would rather go home. I would rather do an exam. I would rather work. I would rather eat a big ice cream on my own. I would rather have a card date with myself. I would rather call the girls out. I would rather come see your child. Like, my life is already as it is really, really full, that I don't have to. Anyway, get time and allow yourself to be dated. That's what I'm saying. I'm allowing when it's
intentional. Personally, I feel like it has to be intentional.
Depends on who is asking.
They have to be in, like 100%. You can't go traumatize yourself.
You can't find out if you don't go on that date. That's the problem. Right now, when they're texting you, hi, how are you? How will you know if it's traumatized?
Yeah, that's true.
You reach there and they tell you, I'm emotional. But I've been wanting to see you for so long.
What?
Because your sons want to take us.
Available.
This is why I want to stay in my father's house. Because I can't. Hey, call me when you're available. Anyway, now
really call me.
I'm starting to, after we've assessed obviously the basics, the basics that you can look at in a man and you're like, maybe potential. I'm giving each of them 2 conversations. 2. Outside the phone, outside the texting, outside. 2 conversations. If I come on the first date and I'm like, potential, there's potential here. This one can see me again. I see you again and we are lagging. you're out. Before, they were not even entering the door. Are you seeing the steps I'm doing? Now, it can work for another.
I'm not going to say that I see future yet, but you're trying.
I am trying. They're getting 2 conversations
But you see,
each.
Val,
First conversation, you say,
it doesn't stop when you have, done all of those dates and you've gone through all of those things. You see, in this thing called marriage, you will still date yourself.
Yes, I have no problem. But now
you
I'm
will
not
still
even
date
trying.
because you see, the thing is,
You have to learn
people
yourself.
evolve.
Yeah.
You evolve. I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Still, Ella, 2 years ago, I was married, but I'm not the same person. So people keep on evolving, and there is always a need. There is always a gap that is being created. To be relevant in your marriage, you always have to see those gaps. And that's where the intentionality comes in. Like, to be able to notice that, okay, my partner's needs have changed to being around all the time. Maybe now I have to actually, like, maybe bring them a meal while they work up late, or like fix this as they do that because they don't have all the time to do it now. Like, you just keep on adjusting for each other. So the work really never stops.
Yeah.
The work really never stops. I think the only difference is now it's centered in one place, but it just really never stops.
Yeah.
I have a date.
I feel like that's a different problem. That one is a problem of I have them, and right now we're not even we don't have them. We don't want to get to know them is my issue. So step 1, get yourself out there. Allow yourselves to be loved. But there are also so many fears. Like,
what's your biggest fear?
I have many. I don't have just one.
I say the biggest. What's the biggest?
Choosing the wrong one. I go through all this. I put in all this work. I take care of myself. I heal. I be the good girl. I don't do this. I don't do that. And then
you land the wrong one.
Because, they are capable of pretending.
Yeah.
They can pretend for you. That's why don't tell them everything. Or
they may not pretend, but then they evolve.
They evolve and then become
completely different.
So what then? But also, I'm learning to know that it's not like, of course, God does not.
It's not a do or die.
Yeah, it's not a do or die. God does not.
It's not a do or die.
God doesn't make it for us to live,
yes.
but like we have the option to live. Our 4 ancestors, the women, fought for their rights to be able to live. So I'm just embracing the fact that, you know what, if I get there and it's not okay, I can always go away. But just for me to get there and it's not okay is the part that I'm just like, bro.
Yeah. After all of the work that I've put in to just choose
this is where because I saw so many very good women, the ones who have done everything. They told them go to church, they went to church, they went to all these seminars, they did what, find a husband, they went to Mvubi, they still they land in douchebags. And I don't know, men are more selfish than us. That's the thing. But I'm learning
women
from them.
Women are just learning actually to become
I'm learning
selfish.
from them so much. But because sometimes I'm like, what would a man do? And I stand up and go. I'm like, what should a man do? They would not even think twice. But the thing is, for them, that's their default. They're not made like us. Unfortunately, it is what it is. For them, just like even dating, I don't want to refer to Shira Sivan, but she was telling us last time, why do you understand the concept of dating? Even in the Bible, I don't think God said, see one at a time.
No.
If I am not in a solid relationship with anybody, I can go on dates with multiple people.
Definitely, you can.
Do you know that women don't do that?
No, there's actually
really don't.
There's 2 sides. You're either single or you're married.
Yeah.
Like, there is
the in between there is not very.
There's really no in between.
But because there are blurry lines, people are making their own lines.
Because now that's how, the situationship.
But there's some really good situationships. Let me tell you something about situationships. They can get very comfortable. They can get very comfortable because it's like, it's something, I don't want to date you, but I'm not lonely. I can go get a hug when I wanna. We can go dancing every now and then I send you back to your whatever.
Yeah. But you see, the blurry lines in between are what is making both ends, the married and the single, very confused. Because there is this middle thing going on. Yeah. And this middle thing, trust me, the middle is always comfortable. When you don't have to choose which side you belong to, and you just have to, some days you can be married, other days you can just be in this small situation.
Yeah.
I think, but I don't know. As a Christian, I feel like it's it's really eating up the basis and the actual reason of why this institution actually exists. But again,
no one is truly single, do you know?
Yeah.
People are not, okay, let me say no one, because some are peas in a pond. But people are genuinely not single. Like they will say they're single because they're not married or living with anyone or necessarily exclusively dating. But there's someone who is over there falling for them because yesterday night they were in their bed. There are so many unspoken blurry lines that are just, man. But let me tell you, when you get time today, thank the Lord that you're not on the street. Because the street, let me tell you. But anyway, this is the thing. It's not so bad because you know why? You can get to make yourself, because when you know the qualities that you want in a man, which some lists are really ridiculously long, guys, while you are waiting for that man who is your preference of a dream man, what are you doing about becoming the woman that he would choose? Because it's one thing for you to say, Mwagalabat, I want him to be rich. I want him when he does this. But the rich, they do not, they like a certain kind of woman.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing about becoming the woman that your dream man wants? Let's focus our energy that side. Do your skincare, go to the gym, get the career as well. Keep yourself busy too. That's the only thing you can do right now anyway. Because he's not here. He's not going to find you there where you are right now because you may not necessarily be his type, except if you watch Nigeria. There's Nigeria for those days where the princess, the man would like the maid or what.
Quick question.
Oh, God.
Quick question. Since we are running out of time, I have just a quickie question.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. If there was anything putting you on pressure right now to get married, what would it be? You have 1 second.
Children.
Yes,
because I want to have my kids when I'm younger so I can enjoy them and blah, blah, blah. I know that I have the option to give birth to them later on, as many women have so graciously
You've
proved
liked
to me.
this
I
one.
love it. Today is Rihanna, tomorrow is Fabiola. I love it so much.
Yeah.
But I also want to have them when I'm younger, but it's not putting me on pressure really at all. But also the fear that I would wake up one day and my body says, too late. Yeah, that's it. But it's not like I'm actively thinking about it because I know I can freeze them, I can get a surrogate, I have so many options.
Okay.
But yeah. I fire you another one. Let me fire you mine. I know you hinted on it, but like, do you ever sit down and think about what else is out there other than your husband? Because you literally only know him.
What do you mean?
As a man. Like, how do you know that's it? How do you know, like, this is it? If you've not seen what else? What if?
But
do you have a what if?
Seen. Anyway, but like,
in Friends.
What is it? Okay, to answer that, I believe in God. Ultimately, if God said He's the one, then He's
Case
the
closed.
one. Yeah.
And you did go to the altar. You
That's
understand? That's your thing.
That's it for me. Like, ultimate trust. It's not. He couldn't do anything
because the rest of us, by the time we are done.
Yeah. So that's it.
Done.
Jeremiah 29:11. Anyway, thank you for watching until this time. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Please continue to subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe. Share the videos. Yeah, we're here for you. We want to make the experience very better for you. So feel free to request or suggest a topic that you'd like to hear us talk about.
Now we are for the people, but you guys, the subscriptions and the views, they're not much.
Valeria is complaining about the subscriptions.
The views and the subscriptions are not aligning.
I have told her you guys are going to subscribe. I said it at the beginning and now at the end. Please subscribe.
Let's see you work. It's free, by the way.
Yeah,
it's
until
free, so
next
like you're going
time.
to pay.
Bye.